Joining me today is Terry Lajoie out of Nashua, New Hampshire. Out of an audience of more than 50,000 agents nationwide, Terry's been selected to represent Broker Agent Advisor as this month's Broker Agent of the Month for the state of New Hampshire. And Terry, it's been an absolute treat for me to get to know you a little bit and kind of explore whether or not you're a fit for this recognition. And I can say with great confidence, you're the perfect fit. And I just want to say congratulations on the recognition and thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and that I was selected by Broker Agent to represent this company because it's been amazing.
Well, you're a great fit, and it's my hope that people that get a chance to watch this video kind of get a sense for why, like a little bit about who you are and maybe why you were selected. And I thought we would just explore a few questions together. You open to that?
Absolutely.
So the first question I have is about real estate. There's a lot of things you could do professionally. How and why become a realtor? What was the motivation to get into this business?
Initially, it was to invest. And back prior to 2005, we had a hot market, very similar to what we have right now. And I couldn't find the investment properties. And when I found them, they were already gone. And so I decided that I wanted to be first in line and get that information as soon as it came out. So I got my license and that's how I got started. Ironically, I'm in the process of buying my very first investment right now. And I did my first deal and fell in love.
And so, here you are, right?
Right.
Years and years later. I have found, obviously sold real estate myself and talked to agents all day, every day. The opinion from outside the industry looking in is that this job is really easy and everybody makes a ton of money. And as you know, not only as a producing agent, but as someone that trains and mentors other agents, like this business is hard. Most people don't have success and it's a lot different than they thought it would be. What is it about being a realtor that keeps you going in this business? What do you find most rewarding about this career?
First, no 2 days are alike. So every day is different. Every day is a challenge. And I'm up for the challenge, so I love that. But the best thing for me is really helping my clients. Truly, and if we've got a minute, I'll share a quick story with you. Early on, I sold a house, and we were 2 weeks negotiating the price, and just couldn't come to terms. And 4 days before Christmas, I got a phone call that said, from the listing agent, that said their offer would be accepted if we could close on the same date, which was 4 days later. And I called my client and I said, "Are you home?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, I'll see you in like 5 minutes. And he's like, "Okay." I had to get him off the phone because I knew as soon as he heard my voice, he was going to say, "Have you heard anything?" And I didn't want to lie, but I had a plan. And I was delivering Christmas cactuses to a lot of my business owners, and I had an extra one in the car. And I walked into the house and he called his wife and she comes out and say hello. And I said, "This is for you, for your new home." And she's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And she turns and walks away. And she got halfway down the hall towards the kitchen and she stopped. And I looked at her husband and I smiled because he got it when I said it.
Yeah.
And she turned around and she came running back and she's like, "What did you say?" I said, "That's for your new home." "Oh." And she goes down, she gets all the way to the kitchen and she turns around and she's like, "What?" And I just nodded. She turned around and she slammed that pot down so hard, the dirt flew everywhere. She almost uprooted the entire plant. She ran down the hall and literally from about 3 feet away, she jumped in the air and into her husband's arms. And to me, that's what I do business. That's why I'm in this business. It's for that. This was their first home. They were so excited. They're still living in the house today.
Wow.
16 years later. And I still visit with them. I was just over there a couple weeks ago to visit with them and see how they were doing. And it's the people. That's why I do it. And that's why I stay. And that's why even when things get tough and, and there's been tough times. I mean, life is not perfect for any business owner, but at the end of the day, it's those stories that keep me going every day.
Yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. I've talked to thousands of agents and I have arrived at those that live a long, successful career in this business and do so still with a smile on their face as you have. It's because there's an element of compassion for others that has to be a part of that journey. Otherwise, this business can just be too hard. It's interesting. That's how you said it. I have a testimonial of yours. And I think this is an appropriate place to share how a client would describe the experience from their perspective with you as their realtor. It said Terry and her team were fantastic, exclamation point. Terry is an amazing realtor who cares about her clients and shows that each step of the way. She has cultivated a fantastic team around her who makes the home buying process easy to understand and actionable. Not only did Terry and team meet every one of my wife and I's expectations, they exceeded them by negotiating a great price and accelerating the closing process. We have recommended Terry to all our friends and family and will continue to do so. Thank you, Terry, exclamation point. Like, this is the epitome of what you just described. And in my opinion, has every reason why you're here being celebrated for your contribution to this industry. And congrats on the kind words.
Thank you.
You live in Lajoie, New Hampshire. You and I talked about it. I've not spent a bunch of time up there. What makes Lajoie, New Hampshire such a great place to live, work, and play?
Nashville is just a really cool place. I was born and raised in New Hampshire, but moved to Nashville in 2000. And honestly, it has a small town feel. We are a city, but it has a small town feel. Everything you could ask for or want or need is here, but it doesn't feel crowded. It doesn't feel, I don't know, it's a very welcoming place. And we've been voted best place to live in America twice. I think we're the only city that holds that distinction. And it's been a really great place for me to live. I can get anywhere inside of an hour. So I can be, if I need major hospitals, we've got Boston, Mass General and Longwood Medical down there, tremendous hospitals. You got all the nightlife of Boston. You've got the aquariums, the science museum, all of that. In an hour, I can be at the ocean. So I can be at Hampton and Rye Beach and spend the day at the ocean, or I can be up in the mountains. So pretty much anything I want, I can be there within an hour. And it's a great place to live. It really is.
That sounds fantastic. I had no idea it was recognized as one of the best places to live in America. That's a pretty appealing designation.
It is. Nice.
I'm going to have to come check it out. At some point, I have to get up to the Northeast and see it.
Absolutely.
Before I let you go, I want to put you on the hot seat for a minute. A lot of people could benefit, Terry, from leaning into your experience, particularly agents, people in the business. And so if you were to give one piece of advice to a peer in this business, what would that one piece of advice be?
First, I would say decide what you want. Once you know what you want from your business, then surround yourself with really smart people who are doing and have already done and accomplished what you want to do, so you can learn from them. Success leaves clues. We all know that. And the more that we spend time with those people who've already done what we want to do, the easier it is for us to mimic that and achieve our own goals. And I'm very goal oriented and I'm very focused on where I'm going and what I'm doing. And that's been a huge piece. So I joined a mastermind group probably 3 years ago now. And 4 times a year, I fly to either Washington State or Arizona to meet with 70 of the top agents in the world, because they've already done what I'm trying to do. So I have access to them through Facebook groups, through the mastermind group. I have their phone numbers. So if I run into a problem or something I don't understand, or I'm just hitting a wall somewhere, I have people I can reach out to that know me, love me, and trust me, and are willing to help me, which is, I think, a huge piece. So I would say surround yourself with the people who can get you where you want to go.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic advice. It's, in this business, you often feel like you're all by yourself. Mm-hmm. And so when you have that resource, it gives you the courage to kind of deal with some of the tough times in this business, and people you can talk to that have been there and done that. And I think that's phenomenal. Frankly, Terry, I think you're phenomenal. I think you are the perfect example of what this recognition is all about, and which is to celebrate men and women that make this business better. And it's a privilege for me to be here sharing a few minutes with you on video, shining a light on you and celebrating you for your contribution. And I just want to say congratulations again on the recognition, and I wish you nothing but joy and abundance in the rest of your journey.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you again for having me. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and, learning more about the faces of, and, being part of Broker Agent has just been really special.
Good stuff. Take care of yourself, Terry.
All right. Thanks.